Alright, welcome to our GCF Factoring video, greatest common factor video. Let's see here in class, we already learned this one factors into just x and x, and factors of 1 is just 1 and 1. With the plus in between to give us the 1x, and the 1x is the 2x. And so our final answer, make sure that you write it as x plus 1 all squared. Number 2, we also did in class, but just in case you missed it, it was divide each one by x to the 7th, which is the highest power that all three of them contain. So x to the 9th has x to the 7th in it, x to the 8th has x to the 7th in it, and x to the 7th has x to the 7th in it. So then we take the GCF and we divide by the greatest common factor. We also want the x to the 9th power to be positive. Right now it is negative, so we want it to be, positive is what we want there. And so we want it to be positive, so how do we get it to be positive? We divide by a negative. And then what do we divide by again? The greatest common factor, the GCF, greatest common factor is x to the 7th. So divide by negative x to the 7th, divide by negative x to the 7th, divide by negative x to the 7th. So that gives us a positive. So divide by, multiply negative x to the 7th. So then multiply by it, that means we're pulling it out. So then I have 9x to the 9th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There it is. Down below I have 7 of them. So negative divided by negative is a positive. And then x to the 9th divided by x to the 7th. Well, I'm going to cross off x to the 7th with 7 up above. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Leaving us with just 2x's left, or in other words, x squared. Okay, so then x squared, good. Negative divided by negative is a positive 2. X to the 8th, 8 of them on top, 7 down below. They all cancel out except for one of them. And then x to the 7th, cancel goes to the 7th, leaving us with a minus 8. Now, minus 8 does in fact factor into a positive 4 and a negative 2. And if you couldn't remember that, then think about let's see here, so 1 times negative 8 is negative 8 for the top part of the x, doing the x box method. And then the bottom part is the middle term, which is 2 for 2x. And if we do 4 times negative 2, we get negative 8. And then 4 minus 2 is 2. So that works for us. Since there's no number in the x squared term, we can just put x and x. And there we go. And then we do negative 2, and we do positive 4. So our final answer there is negative x to the 7th times x plus 4 times x minus 2. And there's your answer to check how to do that there for number 3. We'll jump down here now for number 4. So this is kind of a crazy one. Always put the highest power first. So negative 20v to the 8th. Plus 16v to the 4th, plus 6. Now that's not going to factor very well because we need at least, I don't know, like a v to the 4th would probably help us a lot, wouldn't we? But we don't have one. So this is probably just going to be a GCF problem. So the greatest common factor that all three of those terms have in common is 2. So we'll pull out that 2. And so 20 divided by 2 is a negative 10v to the 8th power, plus 8v to the 4th power, plus 6 divided by 2 is 3. So that's just your answer for number 4. Number 5 is a special factoring. Special because it has 2 perfect squares in it, right? 9 is a perfect square and 16 is a perfect square. First, however, we do need to pull out the GCF. Always remember to do that. Okay. So we'll go ahead and pull that out there. Let's see here. So we're going to go ahead and divide by u to the what? Can't pull out a 3. Yep, divide by u to the 6th power. The first term is positive, so that's nice. So So then that's going to leave us with, so divide by u squared, divide by u to the 6, divide by u to the 6, divide by u to the 6, multiply by u to the 6th power, leaving us with 9. What's u to the 8th divided by u to the 6th? How many is left on top? Just 2 of them, so u squared plus 24u plus just 16. Now, like I said, 9 and 16 are perfect squares, so they can factor into 9u. No. They can factor into 3u and 3u, because 3u times 3u is 9u squared. And then 16 can factor into 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. And then if we make them both positive, just like in the signs above, 4 times 3u is 12u. 4 times 3u is also 12u. And 12u plus 12u is 24u. And so that is what we needed for the middle term right there, which is good. So that means that we did find our factored answer, so I'm going to erase that work there. And so our factored answer then is, don't forget the u squared, or u to the 6th, I mean. So u6 times u to the 6th times 3u plus 4 plus 4. Oh, wait a second. Uh-oh. So we have 2 of them. So what do we do with 2 of them? Let's see here. Yeah, don't forget. So we'll bring down the u to the 6th one more time. If we have 2 3u plus 4s, we're going to have to write it as something special then. And that is 3u plus 4. How many do we have? 2 of them. So 3u plus 4 all squared. There we go. Number 6 is looking like we got 4 terms. And so in your notes, you'll see that 4 terms is using the grouping method. So we're going to split that in half. We're going to pull out like terms, just each individually. So I'm thinking that's a what? 3t squared. 3t squared. So 12 divided by 3 is 4. Oops. So times that by the 3t squared on the outside. Good. So 12 divided by 3 is 4. T cubed divided by t squared will be 1t left. And then minus 3t squared divided by 3t squared is 1. Good. Hopefully what we're trying to get now, that 4t minus 1 on the other side too. So how could we do that? Probably what? Divide by 6, divide by 6, multiply by a positive. Multiply by a positive 6. Leaving us with 24 divided by 6 is 4t. Good. That's what we wanted because of that one. And then 6 divided by 6 is a negative 1. There we go. Now, last but not least, these terms we also want to factor out. Let's see. Oh, we could have factored out 3 in the very beginning of the whole thing. Oh, well, that's okay. Just notice that. Okay, so now we're going to divide this whole term by 4t minus 1. Factor out this whole term by 4t minus 1. And so what that'll do is that'll get rid of the 4t minus 1s, but then put it on the outside. So then, final answer here, 4t minus 1 is what we're pulling out. Times it by, so that cancels, that cancels, that cancels, that cancels. And what's left is 3t squared with the positive 6. So then we get 4t minus 1 times 3